I'm the truth.
What's good? What's good? What's good, man? Welcome back to the Prop They Left Day Genuine Love YouTube channel, man. I'm glad to see y'all again. You know, we always link up every Sunday. And actually, man, I wanted to make it more personal, you know what I'm saying? Make it more like like we building a relationship or like, make it more, social as if we having like a real deal intimate conversation each time. So, I was thinking I'm gonna just give it a name. I'm gonna just call it Sincere Sundays, because Oprocte actually means genuine slash sincere, and lefte means love. So Oprocte lefte meaning genuine love, and sincere love. So Sundays will be dedicated to us, you know what I'm saying? Having sincere Sundays where we just actually communicate, where we can sort of use this time to wind down and communicate on some of the things that we want to talk about and things like that. So, let me know how y'all want to go about that. Comment, and I'm always open for feedback. But first and foremost, before we get started, if you could do something that take less than 1 minute of your time and don't cost you a dime, like, share, and subscribe to the Prop Day Left Day Genuine Love YouTube channel, man. And I thank you all in advance for your support. Also, if you could, definitely go visit proctdaylefty.com, order your gratitude journals so you can write down the things you're grateful for, but you also can get some of the genuine love apparel that's on the site. So I thank you all again so much in advance. And man, hey, I'm letting y'all kick it with me, man. I'm just on the couch and we gonna chop it up, man. And I want to give it that type of feel. And I want y'all to just work with me through the process because I had to get myself amped up to even get started to doing videos. It's like time flies by, probably like a month and a half ago, I started doing videos, and I just been staying consistent because I like the person that is creating me to be, a person that's making me be more, responsible, a person that's making me know that, hey, I got information that I need to share. Therefore, I need to constantly be learning, because when you stop learning, you got less things to share. And I want to continue to share with you all. And that way you all can share with me as well. And I can learn from you all. And hopefully we can teach each other. So first and foremost, one of the things, the subject we was going to cover today, I was just going to talk about, the steps, the 3 key steps to having personal development. You know what I mean? It's 3 key steps that we got to always have to see personal development. And sometimes we all have asked ourselves, or we all have been around people that ask a question like, how can I start today or tomorrow and see myself begin to develop? Or how can I see progression within myself starting today? Or some people may say starting tomorrow because today has already started. And so let's just go over a few. These are, to me, these are like the 3 key steps to me, that I see that are necessary as far as in having personal development. But feel free to comment or share how you feel. So number one, I would always say it's going to be discipline. You know what I'm saying? Discipline is a major key in personal development. It's also major in seeing progress. We got to remain disciplined to whatever it is that we want to do so we can see progress. And we also got to get excited to display discipline or to make the necessary decisions. That way we know it's needed for us to progress in life. Like, you got to sometimes ask yourself, like, what could I do, what changes could I make that would massively change the direction of my life? Like, what could I do right now that could massively, what one little discipline that you could do that could massively turn your life around and start making your life go in the direction that you want it to go? You know what I'm saying? And the key to discipline is starting with the little ones or the small disciplines. You know what I'm saying? Starting with the things that are small or seem insignificant, and they'll lead you to the bigger ones. like it said, despise not those small beginnings. You know, don't overlook the small things, because the small things are what leads you to the bigger challenges that you're having. Like, because you won't be able to handle the big challenges until you master the small ones. You know what I mean? You got to actually be consistent with mastering these small ones just in order to be able to face those bigger challenges. You know what I mean? So one thing I would say that has helped me along with the process, and you may have some ways that help you as well. A thing that helps me is by making a list. You know, make a list of all the things that I know I could do, or all the things that I know I can attack that's small, and get started on them right away. You know what I mean? Don't procrastinate. Don't keep putting it off like, oh, I'm gonna start next year, or I'm gonna start at the new year. I'm gonna start here. No, that's why I say the key thing is focus on the small things first. Like, don't try to attack that big old challenge that you know is gonna require a lot out of you, that may take time to, you know, accomplish that goal. Start with the small goals, as far as in, hey, you might want to wake up 5 minutes earlier a day, or something like that, something small like that. You may want to save an extra $5 a week. You know what I mean? Start with something small and do it consistently, where you're actually seeing the progress, you're actually seeing the results of what it's accumulating, you actually seeing things pay off, and man, it's gonna continually build on to you and build on to that momentum. Like, say for instance, when you're doing the small things, it's gonna help build the muscles. It's gonna help like build the muscles, like the mental strength, the mental endurance. It's also gonna help produce results. You're gonna see the results because you're seeing yourself doing it consistently every day or every week, whatever it may be. And it's also like, you'll see that prior to being disciplined, things used to maybe happen sporadically or happen spontaneously whenever it wanted to. Now, when you're being disciplined, you gonna know like a better ETA of when things are going to happen. You're gonna have a projection of when it's going to happen and when it's supposed to happen, and then everything is going to be like a plan. And that's the whole goal, is everything needs to be almost like systematic, to where every day you're expecting nothing but greatness or success. And also, you want to start with the small ones, because the great thing about it is, you know, we all done heard that saying where they say practice makes perfect. Well, the great thing about it, you know, we all know that there's no such thing as perfect. But the good thing is that practice does make you better. And so once you're doing these small things over and over again, when life gives you those bigger challenges, now you'll be ready. So number one, like I said, discipline. Now number two is going to be self-motivation. You got to be able to motivate yourself. You got to push yourself. You got to be able to think within yourself, like what motivates you, or think of ways that you can challenge yourself. I talk to myself all the time. You know, I done got better with it, where I'm not just talking out loud as much as I used to myself. Now I just try to talk to myself inside my mind, like, come on, man, let's get this done, or come on, man, let's do this. Because the reason I do that is because you can't rely on others to motivate you to accomplish your goals. You know, everybody is out here trying to do something with their life. So you can't rely on them to stop what they're trying to accomplish, to come over here to always pep talk you, or pick you up and tell you, hey man, hey, you could do this or you could do that. Nah, you got to do that for yourself. Um, and talk to yourself, like me personally, you know what I'm saying? I always tell myself, hey, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to tell nobody what to believe in. Even if you're not into all that, you could just tell yourself, I could do anything I put my mind to. You know what I mean? Speak nothing but greatness in your life. um and motivate yourself. And what happens is, once you start saying things, it's going to ignite the mind to start to want to think. And that's where you're going to have to go a little deeper, not even just saying it. Now you're going to have to start saying, okay, if you want to be successful, you're going to have to study success. If you want to be wealthy, you're going to have to study wealth. If you want to be a leader, you can study leadership and things like that. Because it's always ways to 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 get better in a sense each and every day. And that's why I'm coming, like I'm not taking out any bloopers. I'm not taking out any, you know, times that I may even get my own words screwed up and things like that, because I want you to see, like, this is me. This is all the way genuine. This is authentic. This is Prop Day Left Day. You know what I'm saying? I'm just showing love and showing up, and I'm not necessarily showing up just for you. I'm showing up for myself. This is helping making me better because I'm getting myself prepared for the level that I want to be on. So I got to be able to be comfortable expressing myself. I got to be able to be comfortable talking or communicating with others. And, you know, because I know I want to go, I want to continue to excel in life, you know, because I got people that depend on me. You got people that depend on you, you know. And so that's why it's good to always make sure that we're self-motivating ourselves, you know, because at the end of the day, you don't want to leave it to fate. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to leave it to chance, because just by saying something, or just by thinking something, that alone won't get the job done. You know what I mean? Because we got to study to be able to change our economics, our social and personal lives. We have to actually study and fill ourselves up with that information that's gonna have to change our situation. And because we don't want to get to the end of our life and know that we only live one tenth of it, or 10% of it, and the other nine out of 10 we wasted. Like a great story I heard from Les Brown. He said, man, you don't want to get to the end of your life, I believe how he said it, and you have, around your deathbed, you have all these ghosts around you, and it's all ghosts of all dreams that came to you, that were living in, that was in you, that was waiting for you to give them an opportunity to come to life. But now they're all mad at you because they said, man, we didn't come to nobody else. We came to you so you could put life into us, so you could bring us to life, to the world, so they could see all us dreams. Now these dreams gotta all die with you. And that's why they say, you know, if you ever want to know the richest place in the world, it's actually in the cemetery, because so many dreams have had to be buried there, because a lot of people were so afraid to bring their dreams out to the world. So don't be afraid, you know what I mean? But that's number two. Number two is self-motivation. So number one was discipline. Number two, self-motivation. And number two is actually what leads to number three, because like we said, being self-motivated, always being willing to learn or being able to study. And once you look at all of your successful individuals, the majority of all of them will tell you that they became good readers. You know, they became good readers because when you when you study the past and things like that, you'll see that when people finally became successful, they noticed that the reason they weren't successful prior, it wasn't because of lack of opportunities, because there's always opportunities out here. It was due to their lack of information. So I'm gonna repeat that part. So it wasn't that there was a lack of opportunities, like it wasn't opportunities for them to be successful sooner. It was just that they had a lack of information, and so they really wasn't thinking big enough. They wasn't thinking outside of their boundaries. They wasn't thinking outside of their surroundings. They wasn't thinking outside of their comfort zone. And we can go so many different ways with it, because you know how they say, I'm trying not to go nowhere else with it because I want to stay on course. But you know how they say, you know, growing is uncomfortable. So we have to be comfortable being uncomfortable if we want to grow. And it works the same way when we're trying to establish personal development. We got to constantly be learning, and in order to learn, we got to continue to read and become good readers. And I'm guilty of it too. I used to didn't like to read at all. However, after COVID, man, I fell in love with reading. Like, I done read over, man, just last year alone, I read over like 20, probably about 24, 23 or 24 books in one year. And I'm on track to doing the same thing this year. And I'm just so amazed. And now sometimes I really get sad. I'm like, bro, I wasted this much time not learning. And I always consider myself an intelligent brother. However, I made some very unintelligent decisions by not using my mentals as far as in, making poor choices. But let's just stick to it, because the one of the reasons personally I believe that it's always great to become a good reader is because you can learn two ways. You could two I ain't gonna say you could just learn two ways, but these are two ways you can learn. You can learn from your own mistakes, or you can also learn from the mistakes of others by reading. That's what books are basically giving us at all times, is giving us the mistakes of others. So we can either learn from trial and error from our own mistakes, or we can learn from the mistakes of others when we choose to read. And and the great thing about books is there are books on everything. There are books that'll teach you how to become stronger. There are books that'll teach you how to be a leader. There are books that'll teach you how to be impactful and effective when it comes to people. Um, and did you know, like, seriously though, I'm asking you a question. Did you know that there are many successful people out there that have wrote books or autobiographies on how they became successful and how they did it? Yet there's still people that choose not to read the books. And everybody now, if you ask everybody out here if they want to be successful, 9 out of 10, if I ain't mistaken, 10 out of 10 of them gonna tell you they do. Everybody gonna tell you they want to be successful. Everybody gonna tell you they want to be rich. But we have to also ask ourselves, are we having those rich habits? Are we doing what the rich do? Are we having that rich discipline? Are we having a rich self-motivation? Are we having the rich habits of being a good reader? So we gotta, it just put in the variables inside the equation. We gotta ask ourselves. It's simple math, man. Are we doing what the 1 + 1 = 2? You know what I mean? And so that's why it's always good to read, because we'll have that person that'll come around and tell us, uh, like, yeah, man, I work full time, or I work all the time, or I be working this overtime, and I do this, and they telling the truth. They like, man, I work full time. By the time I get off, it's time for me to eat. I might get on a little social media and watch a little TV. After that, man, I gotta go to bed. I ain't got time to be reading this stuff all night. But that same person that's telling you that, they still behind on all their bills. They struggling. They working check to check. If they miss 1 week of work and they don't get paid or something for a week, they gonna be panicking. 2 weeks, oh, they going in the red. You know what I'm saying? Stuff started getting lost, or stuff started getting cut off, or they standing in certain different lines. And it's not that they're a bad person. I mean, uh they're a good person. They're a hard worker. They genuine at heart. You know what I'm saying? And they work hard. You know what I mean? But if they keep those same habits, they just gonna grow old and be broke. Unfortunately, and because being a good person and a hard worker is not enough to make us wealthy. It's not enough to make us successful. It just means you're a hardworking man. But in order to get ahead in life nowadays, you can't be a hard worker. You got to be a smart worker, man. You know, and so that's why I say be a good reader, because once you become a good reader, you become a good thinker. And once you become a good thinker, you could think your way out of any situation. And that's what my goal is. And I hope that's what your goal is, because I'm trying to think my way to the next level and think my way to generational wealth. I'm trying to think my way to being an excellent entrepreneur. I'm trying to think my way to be an excellent employer. I'm trying to think my way to being an excellent employee. I'm trying to think my way to these things because I want to attract all these things that I want to become. I basically want to be the change that I want to see in the world. I want to be what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? And so that was that, brother. I'm so glad that everyone that came through, that watched this, man, I thank y'all so much again. Please go subscribe or Prop They Left a Genuine Love YouTube channel. And just remember these keys to, personal development, man. And that's one, discipline. Number two, self-motivation. And number three, become a good reader, man. And I'm telling you, man, stay consistent, consistent, consistent. And it's going to change your life, man. As always, a Prop Day Left Day. Genuine love to you all.